Sample population. So, what is it? Population refers to a group of people that we want information about. Meanwhile, sample refers to a part of the population that we take out to examine and draw conclusions from. What are the types of sampling? In this video, we'll be looking at the different methods of obtaining a sample. But first, let's take a look at the type of bias sample. Bias samples are occur when one or more parts of the population are favored over others. The two types of bias samples include the convenience sample. It only includes people who are easy to reach. Voluntary response sample only consists of people that have chosen to include themselves in the sample. In other words, the researcher lets the people willingly comes to him instead of selecting them based on their qualification.
Next, the second type of sampling method is unbiased sample. What is unbiased sampling? It is a sample drawn and recorded by a method which is free from bias. Basically, unbiased sample is one that is representative of the entire population, gives each thing an equal chance of being chosen. So, how unbiased sample are conducted? There are three ways of conducting this type of sampling method. First is simple random sampling, or known as SRS. It is the most basic method in unbiased sampling. A simple random sample is a subset of a statistical population in which each member of the subset has an equal probability of being chosen. It is like putting names in a box and selecting n of them. If we wanted a sample size of 6, we will select 6 papers and come up with a randomly 6 people to interview them. Second is stratified random sample. The population will be divided into 3 groups, or also called as strata, which refers to the group of similar people within each group. So we taken a simple random sampling and combine it to get a full sample. Then 2 names will be drawn from each group so that we can get a total of 6 people. And last but not least, multi-stage sampling. Multi-stage sampling can be done by using a combination of 2 or more simple random samplings. Multi-stage sampling means going through different stages to find where the sample comes from. For example, if there are 3 groups, stage 1 could be selecting which group will be picked using simple random sampling. Let's say I happen to draw group 1, that means I will only focus on group 1. Then for the stage 2, I will do another simple random sampling to get these 6 random people. So that is all from me. Thank you.
Moving on to the data collection process, there are 2 stages, and the first stage is planning stage. There are 4 steps in planning stage, which is the first step is identifying and limiting the topic, where the teacher would identify a topic that they would like to genuinely examine in depth, and this will be focusing on one aspects of the teaching and learning process. Okay. And the second step would be gathering information, in which preliminary information gathering is a process also known as reconnaissance. It can be as simple as talking to other teachers, counselor or administrator in our school or district. The third step would be reviewing the related literature, in which any existing source of information that can shed light to the topic selected for the investigation or study. There is no limit to what can be used as related literature as long as it can help the teacher researcher to make informed decision. The last step is developing a research plan. The development of a research design and plan for collecting data is known as the research methodology. Once the research problem or topic has been identified and focused, it is then appropriate to state one or more research question. A research question is the fundamental question inherent in the research problem. It is also important to have this question, and it will provide the guiding structure to the study itself.
The next step is the determination of the specific data to be collected and how to actually collect them. So in 2003, Franco and Wallen suggest 3 main categories of data collection techniques. So what are they? The first one is teachers can observe participants involved in the educational process. Who are these participants? So these participants might include students, other teachers, parents, or even administrators. And next one is interviews. So interviews may also be used to collect data from students or other individuals. Finally, a third category of data collection technique involves the examination and analysis of existing documents or records. Now, as we collect our data, we should analyze them by looking for themes, categories, or patterns that emerge. This analysis will influence further data collection by helping us to know what to look for. Decisions about which type of data analysis to use are based on whether the data is qualitative or quantitative. It is also crucial to remember that the analysis of data must match with the research questions being addressed and hopefully answered by the study. So, do you get it now? That's all from me. Thank you.